The bridge of the dark sky fell silent. Every officer stared at the tactical display. Red icons showed krill ships. White icons showed human vessels. 3 red icons had just turned gray, destroyed. How many human fighters attacked those ships? Vorn asked. 12, sir. They used focused beam weapons on the shield generators and explosive devices on the hull breaches. 12 fighters destroyed 3 of our warships? Thorn's voice rose. That is impossible. But it was not impossible. It was happening. More reports came in. A Krell destroyer near Mars was crippled. Human fighters had somehow gotten inside its hangar bay and detonated explosives. Another Krell ship reported that humans had hacked into their communication system and were broadcasting false orders. They are adapting too quickly, the weapons officer said. We have been fighting for only 5 hours, and they already know our weak points. Vorn watched the tactical display. The human ships moved in patterns he had never seen before. They did not form defensive lines like other species. They did not protect their important ships. Instead, every human vessel acted independently, striking fast and retreating before the Krell could respond. Sir, we are receiving a message from the human command, the communications officer said. Put it on screen. The same gray-haired human appeared. But now he was not alone. Behind him stood dozens of other humans, different ages, different skin colors, all wearing military uniforms. Admiral Vorn, the human said, I am Commander Price of Earth Defense. You have made a grave mistake. You attacked our colonies. You killed our people. Now we will show you what happens when you go to war against humanity. You cannot win, Vorn said. We outnumber you 10-1. Price smiled. It was not a friendly smile. Numbers don't matter when you don't understand your enemy. You think we are weak because we fight among ourselves? You are wrong. We fight among ourselves because we are warriors by nature. Every human nation has spent thousands of years perfecting the art of war. We know 100 ways to kill. We know how to fight when outnumbered. We know how to win when victory seems impossible. Empty words, Vorn replied. Are they? Price gestured to someone off-screen. Let me show you something. The screen changed. It showed a Krell warship exploding. Then another. Then another. All from the last hour of fighting. We have studied your ships, Price continued. Your shields are strong in the front, weak in the rear. Your engines overheat after prolonged use. Your weapons have a 3-second recharge time. We know all your weaknesses now, and we will exploit every single one. The screen switched back to Price. His eyes were cold and hard. You came here expecting an easy victory. You thought we would surrender. But humans don't surrender. We fight. We adapt. We survive. And we never, ever forget who attacked us first. Vorn felt anger rising in his chest. We will crush you. We have 500 ships. You had 500 ships, Price corrected. Now you have 491. By tomorrow, you will have less. Leave our system now, while you still can. The transmission ended. Vorn slammed his fist on the command console. All ships, attack formation. We will destroy Earth today. But his second-in-command stepped forward. Sir, perhaps we should reconsider. We have lost 9 ships in 6 hours. This is more than we lost in the entire conquest of the Vrel homeworld. We will not retreat. Vorn shouted. The Krell Empire does not run from inferior species. Deep in space, near the asteroid belt, human fighters regrouped. Their pilots were tired but determined. They had lost many ships, many friends. But they had also proven something important. The Krell could bleed. Commander, Price watched the Krell fleet on his monitors. He turned to his officers. They are not leaving. They will push forward. That is good. We want them deeper in our system. Sir? A young officer asked. Why? Price's smile was grim. Because the further they come, the harder it will be for them to escape. Send the signal to all colonies, all hidden bases, all reserve fleets. Tell them to prepare for the real battle. The Krell think they have seen our full strength. They have no idea what is coming. In the darkness between planets, humanity prepared its trap. Asterisk the turning point. 3 days had passed since the Krell invasion began. Admiral Vorn looked at the casualty reports and felt his confidence crumbling. 47 ships lost. 47. How is this possible? He muttered. They are primitives. His officers had no answer. The humans were fighting like nothing the Krell had ever encountered. They did not follow the standard rules of space combat. They attacked from impossible angles, used the gravity of planets to slingshot their ships at incredible speeds, and hid weapons in debris fields and asteroids. Worse, the humans seemed to know exactly where the Krell would be. Every time the Krell fleet moved to attack a target, human forces were already waiting. Ambushes, traps, explosions from nowhere. Sir, we have lost contact with Battle Group 7, an officer reported. 20 ships gone silent near Saturn. Vorn's stomach twisted. Send scouts. Find them. The scouts returned 6 hours later with horrifying news. Battle Group 7 was destroyed. All 20 ships were floating wreckage. The humans had lured them into Saturn's rings and attacked from every direction. The Krell ships had crashed into each other trying to escape. They used the rings as cover, the scout captain explained. We could not track them. They appeared, fired, and vanished. Over and over. It was a massacre. Vorn realized the terrible truth. The Krell were not fighting an army. They were fighting hunters. And the Krell were the prey. On Earth, Commander Price coordinated the defense from a bunker deep underground. Screens showed every battle, every movement of the Krell fleet. His staff worked around the clock, analyzing Krell tactics and sending orders to human forces across the solar system. The Krell are getting desperate, his tactical officer said. They are grouping their ships closer together for protection. Good, Price replied. That makes them slower. Send word to the Jupiter squadrons. It is time to reveal the railguns. Near Jupiter, the largest planet in the solar system, humanity had built its secret weapon. Massive railguns, hidden on the moons, powered by Jupiter's magnetic field. The Krell did not know they existed. A Krell battle group of 30 ships approached Jupiter, hunting for human bases. They spread out, scanning the moons, and the railguns fired. Metal slugs, each weighing 10 tons, traveled at a significant fraction of light speed. They hit the Krell ships with devastating force. Shields meant nothing. Armor meant nothing. The slugs punched through the Krell vessels like paper. 7 ships exploded in the first salvo. 10 more were crippled. The remaining ships tried to retreat, but human fighters swarmed them. Not one Krell ship escaped. We just destroyed 30 ships in 20 minutes, Price's weapons coordinator said, amazed. Price nodded. Send the battle footage to every human colony. Let our people see we are winning. And make sure the Krell see it too. I want them afraid. The footage spread quickly. On Mars, on the Moon, on every human station, people watched the Krell ships explode. Morale soared. The humans had been afraid, but now they saw hope. The Krell saw something different. They saw death. Vorn called an emergency council with his senior commanders. They met via hologram, their faces grim. We cannot continue this assault, one commander said. We have lost 82 ships in 4 days. At this rate, the entire fleet will be destroyed in 2 weeks. We should request reinforcements from the homeworld, another suggested. Vorn shook his head. I already tried. Our long-range communications are not working. The humans are jamming our signals somehow. Then we are trapped, the first commander said quietly. The word hung in the air. Trapped. The Krell had come to conquer. But now they could not even call for help. They were alone in a hostile system, fighting an enemy that seemed to know their every move. We retreat to the outer system, Vorn decided. We regroup, repair our ships, and plan a new strategy. But retreating was not easy. Human forces harassed them at every turn. Small attacks, hit-and-run strikes, mines placed in their path. Every day, the Krell lost more ships. Every day, their situation grew worse. On the 10th day of the invasion, Vorn received a message. It was not from Earth. It was from the Krell homeworld, somehow breaking through the jamming for just a moment. Admiral Vorn, what is your status? Why have you not reported? Vorn stared at the message. How could he explain? How could he tell the Empire that 500 warships were being defeated by humans? He recorded his reply carefully. The humans are more dangerous than anticipated. They fight with tactics we cannot predict. We need reinforcements immediately. But the message never sent. The jamming returned, stronger than before. Vorn realized they were truly alone, and the humans were closing in. Asterisk. None returned week 3 of the invasion. Admiral Vorn sat alone in his quarters on the dark sky. His once mighty fleet of 500 ships was down to 143. More than 350 vessels destroyed. Thousands of Krell warriors dead. The humans had not just fought back. They had hunted the Krell across the solar system like animals. Sir, we have detected a massive human fleet approaching, his communications officer called. They are coming from Earth, Mars, the Moon, and the asteroid colonies. All of them are converging on our position. Vorn walked to the bridge. The tactical display showed the truth. Hundreds of human ships, some large warships, but most were small fighters and modified civilian vessels. They had attached weapons to cargo ships, to mining vessels, even to passenger transports. Every human who could fly was coming to fight. How many? Vorn asked quietly. Over 800 ships, sir. 800. The humans now outnumbered the Krell. Vorn realized the horrible truth. The humans had been holding back. Those first weeks of fighting, they had not shown their full strength. They had been testing the Krell, learning, adapting, and now they were ready to finish it. All ships defensive formation, Vorn ordered. We make our stand here, near Jupiter. The remaining Krell vessels formed a tight sphere, shields overlapping. It was the best defensive position they could manage. But Vorn knew it would not be enough that the human fleet arrived like a storm. They did not charge in recklessly. They surrounded the Krell sphere completely, cutting off every escape route. Then they began their attack. It was not a battle. It was an execution. Human ships attacked from all directions. The railguns on Jupiter's moons fired again, breaking the Krell formation. Fighters swarmed through the gaps, targeting engines and weapon systems. Larger human warships used concentrated fire to overload Krell shields. They are not trying to conquer us, Vorn's tactical officer said in horror. They are trying to kill every single one of us. He was right. The humans were not taking prisoners. They were not offering surrender. They were destroying every Krell ship they could find. Commander Price watched from Earth as the final battle unfolded. His officers cheered with each Krell ship destroyed, but Price remained calm. Sir, the Krell are breaking formation, someone reported. They are trying to scatter and escape. Do not let a single ship leave this system, Price ordered. I want every Krell vessel destroyed. Send the message to all human forces. No mercy, no survivors. The order was harsh, but Price knew it was necessary. If even one Krell ship escaped and returned to their empire, they would tell others about humanity. More fleets would come, bigger fleets. This had to end here, completely. The hunt began. Human ships chased down fleeing Krell vessels across the solar system. Some Krell tried to hide in asteroid fields. Human miners knew those fields better and found them easily. Some tried to reach the outer planets. Human patrol ships were waiting. A few Krell ships tried to surrender, broadcasting messages of peace. Price considered it for a moment, then shook his head. Destroy them. They showed no mercy to our colonies. We show none to them. The Dark Sky, Admiral Vorn's flagship, was one of the last ships remaining. Vorn stood on his bridge, watching as human ships surrounded him. There was no escape, no hope. It seems we underestimated them, he said softly to his officers. We thought them weak. We were fools. A human transmission came through. It was Commander Price. Admiral Vorn, your fleet is destroyed. Your invasion has failed. In our history, many have tried to conquer humanity. All of them failed. You are just the latest. I want you to know something before you die. If your empire sends another fleet, we will be ready. We will be stronger. And we will come for your homeworld. Vorn had no reply. What could he say? The Krell Empire had conquered 47 worlds. Now they had met the 48th, and it had destroyed them. Fire, Price ordered. Human weapons lit up space. The Dark Sky exploded in a brilliant flash of light. Admiral Vorn and his remaining crew died instantly. The last Krell ship was destroyed 3 hours later, trying to reach the edge of the solar system. Its engines failed, and human fighters tore it apart. Not one Krell survived. Not one ship returned home. On the Krell homeworld, the Empire waited. Days turned to weeks. Weeks turned to months. The fleet did not return. No messages came. No survivors appeared. 500 ships vanished without a trace. The Krell High Council debated what to do. Some wanted to send another fleet to investigate. Others argued against it. If 500 ships could not defeat the humans, one council member said, how many would we need? 1,000? 2,000? And what if we lost those too? The debate continued for years. Eventually, the Krell made their decision. They would leave humanity alone. Across the galaxy, other species heard the story. It spread through trade routes, through diplomatic channels, through whispered warnings in dark corners of space stations. The Krell Empire, undefeated for 3,000 years, had sent a fleet to conquer a primitive world called Earth. The fleet never returned. Every ship destroyed. Every warrior killed. The species that did it called themselves humans. Alien civilizations updated their star charts. Earth was marked with a warning symbol. Do not approach. Do not threaten. Do not attack. One alien merchant, drinking at a bar on a distant station, summed it up perfectly. The humans look weak. They seem divided. They appear primitive. But when you attack them, when you threaten their home, when you hurt their people, they become something else. They become death itself. 500 Krell warships learned that lesson. None of them lived to share it. He took another drink and shook his head. Stay away from Earth. Stay away from humanity. That is my advice. They are the species you don't fight. Because if you do, your fleet will never return. The warning spread. Humanity was left alone, and in the darkness of space. On the edge of their solar system, humans built more ships, trained more pilots, and prepared for the next threat. They had won their first war against the stars. They would be ready for the next one. The end. Asterisk.